Hey folks, FJB3 here, the Wrestling Nut, with another video. I wanted to talk about the Wyatt Six and the lack of creative direction in the WWE. Now, this was a faction that debuted June 17th on Raw at the very end, and creatively, it's brilliant. It had so many things going for it, and when they debuted, they knocked it out of the ballpark. It was fantastic. So Bo Dallas is the brother of Bray Wyatt, and we all know Bray. He had this Firehouse Funhouse, and God rest Bray's soul. It's so tragic. That he had these creepy children show and these creepy puppet characters, and his creative brother as well brought them to life. And so he had a faction consisting of Eric Rowan, that's Ramblin' Rabbit, Dexter Lewis, Mercy the Buzzard, Joe Gacy, Huskus the Pig, and Nikki Cross as Abby the Witch. And when they debuted, it was shot well, produced well, and it was eerie and cool. And Nikki Cross comes, crawling out, smoke everywhere, has the iconic lantern, motions the cameraman to the back, and there's smoke and everybody's laying and it looks like people are dead, and the characters are positioned in creepy places, and people rewatch that debut many times. And as we know, there was only one superstar injured in that attack, which was the direction of the story, and that was Chad Gable, and we know how that feud went. And then this talent, this faction, they even see, this is what's disappointing about WWE and the creative. So they have this great debut, and it looks like they didn't create this faction as a top tier, on television. It was a mid card faction, and that's the disappointment, because the people that were fans and involved in it, Chad Gable was a good feud. I guess the right person to pick. I still don't understand their motivations, as they were presented as face, not heel, but that's a different story. But the execution, because they also had interviews with them out of character. And I thought they were going to roll with it and make it more nuanced and interesting. And basically it's just a mid-card faction, and they only had one other feud with the Final Testament and Miz, and that was just for a Miz heel turn. Apparently, Bo Dallas got injured, and now he's medically cleared. So the reason for the video is now there's news about the Wyatt Six and how WWE Creative has them on hold, waiting for the right time. Do you have faith in that? Honestly, I mean, just bringing Alexa Bliss into the faction, does that elevate it? Or does that drag Alexa Bliss down to the mid card? Because if you're not writing stories that really drive this faction, and giving the fans, the watchers, a reason, a motivation for what the Wyatt Six wants to do or accomplish, then it means nothing. They have so much possibility with this group, with the story created, just the backstory, and again, they invested a lot into it, and it's almost like WWE Creative sometimes just drops the ball and, well, we got nothing for you here. So apparently they're ready to bring the Wyatt Six back. Looks like Alexa Bliss may or may not be involved. You tell me if that makes them relevant, because that's the whole thing here. The concept, again, is so cool. Everything about it could work, but what are you doing with it? You tell me. What creative direction would you give the Wyatt Six? And does Alexa Bliss, if she's added into the mix, does that elevate that group? And where do you think Triple H and that creative team sees them in the grand scheme of things? I really would love to know if you just think this was created as a mid-card faction, because it's not the Shield. You tell me. Thanks.